in terms of how the PE curriculum could look then, and I know I've touched on this in some of your other lectures, all I want you to do now, I want you to put yourself in a position that you are a government advisor for PE. And you've been asked, you've been given a blank piece of paper and you've been told, right, come up with your perfect national curriculum for PE in terms of what it would be, what it would look like. So what I want to know is, what would you include in the PE curriculum? How would it be taught? And would there be any difference between primary and secondary PE curriculum? Okay, so if you write down your ideas, what would your PE curriculum look like? How would it be taught? Is there a difference between primary and secondary? And then be prepared to present back to the rest of the group. So, again, this is what I came up with. This is my interpretation. So, you might have come up with different points, which is great. Hopefully you've discussed them, the relevance of them. So, what could it look like? I think what you have to recognise now, if you're teaching the national curriculum, if you're teaching kids how to play games, well, games don't have to be traditional games. And think back to the slides I put up around Albert Einstein. If you keep doing what you've always been doing, you keep getting what you've always got. Which simply means if you teach football and rugby and hockey and netball, you're still going to get the same attitudes, the same experiences from young children. So if we're going to teach games to kids, well, there's far more games out there to deliver to kids. What do we want kids to develop from their game participation? Well, it's about movement, isn't it? It's about movement. It's about movement skills. It's about fundamental movement skills. It's about attacking and defending and penetration and width and depth. Beating an opponent, stopping an opponent. They're all transferable skills across any game. Whether you're playing Aussie rules, whether you're playing chuckball, korfball, lacrosse, ultimate frisbee, American football, dodgeball, handball. They're all games. They've all got the same skills. So if we're talking about engaging kids and participation and motivation and good attitudes, isn't this the way to do it? And this is what the national curriculum for PE nowadays allows us to do. It's how we interpret the national curriculum, which is important. A big part of the national curriculum is health-related fitness. Well, if we're going to engage kids in lifelong physical activity, kids want to do activities that they're going to be engaged in for the lifelong. They're going to do Zumba, they're going to do Pilates, they're going to do yoga. Well, why can't we integrate those into the national curriculum? Why? Because teachers don't have the knowledge, experience and confidence. Why not? When this is part of what kids want to do nowadays. And I suppose that's my criticism of the PE curriculum. Young kids nowadays want to do activities that they see on the television or they're engaging in outside of school. So we talk about the 21st century child, but the 21st century child is different to how maybe we were taught in PE. So we need to change our teaching and the activities that we offer to accommodate those kids. Kids nowadays, it's about digital literacy. It's about health literacy. It's about physical literacy. So again, how do we engage young children to get them motivated and inspired to take part in physical activity, to take part in PE? And we've seen the things with the dance mats, using the iPads, using pedometers and accelerometers. How can we make our PE lessons more interesting, more engaging, more motivated? Cross-curricular. So when we're talking about high-quality PE, if you were doing a bleep test in school, if you're doing a cross-country, kids don't want to do that. If you were doing a fitness session and you're putting heart rate monitors on and you're putting accelerometers on them, or you're doing a dance session with dance mats and they've got a big screen in front of them where they're following moves and it's a competition to see who can score the best points, all of a sudden kids are inspired, they're engaged. That becomes high quality PE.